Sensors for heat are most dense in our fingertips, nose, and strangely, our elbows. They play a critical role. When we're pushed to the limits, they might just keep us alive. All over the human body, every second of every day, nerves carry sensations to our brains. Even when we don't realize it, these signals control how our bodies function. When it gets hot, sensors and nerves work together to keep us alive. The deep Australian desert can reach 130 degrees. It's no place to get stranded. But that's what happened to Matthew McGough and his daughter Shannon, more than 100 miles from the nearest town. It's so hot here that a cut of beef left outdoors would roast in less than 4 hours. Yet Matthew and Shannon are still alive 8 days later. Moments after their pickup truck breaks down, their bodies go into action to hold their core temperature at about 98.6 degrees. It's all thanks to hundreds of thousands of tiny heat sensors and the cooling system they trigger. When our skin heats up beyond 93 degrees, sensors signal our brain. Its central thermostat uses other nerves to start the cooling process. 1 hour later, both of them are sweating profusely. There's no more efficient way to cool the body. Beneath our skin lie over 1 million tiny sweat glands. When we heat up, our blood vessels dilate, bringing blood and heat to the skin surface more quickly. The sweat glands extract water from the blood and release it into the open. As it evaporates, it cools us. Under ordinary conditions, we produce about 2 pints of sweat a day. But in extremes, we pump out a lot more. This guy's churning out heat as he runs, and what's more, the room temperature is being increased at the same time.
The amount of sweat you're producing, but more importantly evaporating, is just enabling you to release the amount of heat, lose the amount of heat from the body that you're producing through exercise. We're seeing no increase now in the sweat production, which suggests to us that you're sweating at about your maximum rate.
The man's near the sweat limit, 4 pints an hour. But the water has to come from somewhere. The human body is 75% water. To survive, our vital organs need their share of that fluid. Normally, we have enough to spare for the cooling system, provided we keep the body filled up. After 4 days in the Australian desert, Matthew and Shannon have run out of water. Losing as little as 3% of the body's water can cause cramps, headaches, and disorientation. They're so dehydrated, they start to hallucinate.
The heat itself, the heat plays tricks on your mind. Trying to keep your mind on the job of surviving and getting out of things and getting things done and this, that, and everything else.
Now their bodies must respond to the water loss. To keep the body's vital organs supplied, the brain fights back with a surprising response. Overriding the body's thermostat, the brain orders the sweating to stop. The sweat glands drain dry. Next, nerves signal other parts of the body to suck water back into the heart, lungs, and kidneys. The blood thickens and coagulates. Water is absorbed from the large intestine, causing constipation. Even the eyes dry out.
We had a a good cry together about, whether we'd see Christmas or not, or whether Shannon would see her mum again or whatever, And if we'd had the moisture in our body, there would have been plenty of tears, but there was none. So,
Again, I remember how your mouth's all dry and you can't really swallow because there's just nothing there to swallow with.
Your tongue's like having a brick in your mouth.
Shannon and Matthew are near collapse. But instead of cooking in the heat, the network of sensors beneath their skin has kept them alive for over a week. They survived because their bodies balanced the need for water and the need to keep cool. Their brains even trigger one final instinct. They just managed to dig in, insulating their bodies from the searing desert. It's enough to save their lives.
Just jumped up out of the ground and started waving my hands frantically. And he had lots of nice cold water on board, eh? That was good. Yeah, and I grabbed this great big jerry can full and upended it and went straight through us. But yeah, it was good. It was nice, cool, cold, clean rainwater. It was awesome. Yeah.
Our body's temperature responses can be the difference between life and death.
There are more ways to die than the human mind can imagine. Some are sudden and shocking. Others are slow and methodical. But every death, no matter how strange, can be explained. Even the most curious and unusual.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. It's 107.9 The End, today's hit music, where we're holding our wee for a wee.
It was a competition with some unusual rules. Each contestant was given an 8-ounce bottle of water and 2 minutes to drink it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your bladders.
Look at that guy. He's really sucking it back.
Oh my God, I've never seen anybody drink like that before in my life. He's done that before, I think.
2 minutes later, they're told to finish another. Another 2 minutes and another 8-ounce bottle. And on it went. To spice things up, contestants who went to the bathroom were eliminated. Whoever went the longest without peeing would win the wee. No one was aware this competition could have dire consequences. Dr. Pete Lemon, an expert on water intoxication, explains how simply drinking water can be deadly.
The composition of the water that you're drinking is more dilute in electrolytes than the fluid in your body. And so what happens is the rapid intake of water causes a rapid dilution of the blood.
Electrolytes circulate in our bodies, the most common, sodium. Consuming too much water can dilute the electrolyte levels in our blood. To rebalance these levels, cells absorb the excess water, making them swell, which can have lethal consequences.
Get these fluid movements into the cells and they essentially expand and explode.
Having consumed over 8 liters of water in less than 2 hours, Brad is experiencing lethargy, fatigue, nausea, and a severe headache.
The brain, as it swells, begins to push the contents of the brain down through the path of least resistance, through the hole in the bottom of your skull called the foramen magnum. A portion of the brain jams down into the foramen magnum, squeezing a part of your brainstem called the medulla oblongata. This is the part of your brain that carries all of your vital functions, that tells you when to breathe, tells your heart when to beat. And so when it is crushed by the weight of this pressure, you have something called tonsillar herniation. And when that happens, you die.